Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice as we celebrate our 250th episode. That's right, 250 episodes. We most sincerely thank you for your support. Brother Tony.
Hi. It's good to meet you, Rafe. We're going to get you settled tonight at the facility. An orphanage. Actually, they're group homes now. So I've heard. What's porridge? These days we call it oatmeal. Now, if you come along with me, please. Hey, Detective. Thanks for waiting. You got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest today on this Memorial Day holiday is a lady I've known and admired for many years for her outstanding talents and abilities. She's an actress, elementary teacher, motivational speaker, fitness instructor, playwright, author, and on and on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome E.P. McKnight.
Good morning and happy Memorial Day, and thank you for having me, Ron.
My pleasure,
It's really a pleasure
E.P.
to be here.
My pleasure. My goodness, lady, with all that stuff, how do you do it?
Well, you know, I'm like Nike. I just do it.
Okay. Now, you're from New York City, aren't you?
I actually went to college in New York City, but my roots are actually in Mississippi.
Mississippi? Okay, I can understand it. I understand it. But you went to school at Fordham University Lincoln Center, where you received a master's degree in educational psychology. As you know, I'm a school teacher myself, and we both know the necessity of getting what I call an education, definitely. Somewhere out there in time, the acting bug bit you. Can you tell us about it?
Well, actually, I had the acting bug since I was about maybe 4 or 5 years old. I just didn't understand what it was. But being very shy, I never really pursued it because I was so shy until after high school. When I went to New York and I started going to Fordham University, I learned about the community theaters. And I started engaging, an interest in community theater, and one thing led to another. And I loved it when I went on stage, I could be someone else other than myself. And I thought, I like the way that feels up there. And that's how the acting bug took over from what was already budding in me when I was very young.
2001, you got your first IMDb credit for writing a film called Getting Out. I bet that was a great experience.
That was a wonderful experience. An associate of mine wanted to do a project, and she had the equipment, she had the people, and she said, well, I need someone to write something. And I said, I enjoy writing. So I wrote Get Out from a current event that was happening at that time. We put together this team and we shot it, and we just kind of went forth. And I thought, okay, this is a medium that I can really make a difference and have a voice in.
Got you. You don't let any grass grow under your feet, lady. You always on the go. When you got your first IMDb actress degree, you did it for a film called Once and Again.
You know what? Yes, that's when I got my first credit, but that was so long ago that I practically forgot about that. But yes, vaguely I remember that being my first credit, and it was like my first acknowledgement or my second acknowledgement that, okay, this can be a profession, or this is a profession.
Got you. Now, movies and TV, that was okay with you, but you did some more. When you got all those, let me see, you had a production company called, let me see if I did say this right, Nakia Omani Productions?
That's close. Nikeo Imani Productions. Swahili meaning good faith.
Yeah. It was a nonprofit community organization that produced stage productions and community events. Tell us about it, please.
Right. I started that production company when I was living in New Jersey on the East Coast many years ago. I realized that a lot of young people were coming out of high school not knowing what they wanted to do or how to pursue a career in any arena. So I formed Nikeo Imani Production as a community organization to create a vehicle to teach high schoolers how to pursue a career in any area. So what I did, I formed an alliance with a local church, and I created content where, like, mock videos where students could come in like they were going to an interview for a job, and I would teach them how to pursue a career, how to present themselves through video. And that's how it really got started. So we did that for about a year, and that was enjoyable. And then I went on and I thought, you know what? Education and entertainment really should be called edutainment. So therefore, I started doing plays to not just entertain, but to educate people about events and awareness of things that were going on in their community. So things started to grow after that. And then my one-person shows became a part of that, educating around the country about Black history in America.
How many plays did you produce or involved with?
Okay. Well, let me just guesstimate how many plays I've written and produced. I've written more than I've produced.
Okay.
So I would say I've written it hundreds, but maybe I've produced maybe 25 or 30 of those.
Wow.
Maybe more than 100. Yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful. Back to the television again and film. We got a couple of videos we want to show folks what you got involved with. Roll it, Tony.
Why would you think something like this would ever be okay? I just don't understand. What were you thinking, Cyrus?
I'm not going to have my son taking his girlfriend to some abortion in the middle of...
Am I clear on this?
Yes, ma'am, I'll try.
No, you will do. Not try. My grandson's a good boy. Why you gotta accuse him of stealing TVs?
Excuse me? What?
He's not a thief. He goes to college.
All right. You really got a few plays, some very good credits out there. You know, a lot of people don't understand what's it like being an actress. What is it like being an actress?
Okay. Do you want the truth or do you want a generalization?
Whatever's good for you.
Being an actor or in the entertainment business is very hard. It's very hard. The reason why it's difficult is because actors face more rejection than any other career on this planet.
Wow.
Every time an actor goes out for an audition, there's a possibility of being rejected. You get rejected for more auditions than you're booked for. So that's what it makes it very difficult, because you find yourself on a roller coaster, like, am I going to get this one? Then you find out you're rejected. So a lot of actors, I've seen a lot of devastation mentally and physically what actors go through, including myself. That's one of the reasons why I'm studying performance psychology, to really help actors deal with their mentality when they go through a lot of mental agony about not getting that role that they thought, or something happened where they were cut out of a project. So that's why I'm saying it's very difficult. Now, that's the audition side of it. But if you immerse yourself in the entertainment industry 200%, you can lose yourself trying to be something that industry wants you to be. So being aware of that, getting past the audition process, is better to retain who you are and not let anyone dictate who you should be. That's when you really get mentally disturbed.
Well, it takes a strong person sometimes to do what has to be done to get you up in front of that camera on the stage, no matter what it is. You're doing a good job. Now, AP, you're a good leader. I found a video from your Facebook with you in action. Roll it, Tony.
Leader. I want to talk about what a leader really is. In order to be a good leader, you've got to be a good follower. You can't lead where you have not been. That's what makes a good leader, being a follower first. Number two, a good leader knows how to communicate.
Looking good, lady. Looking good. How do you stay in shape like that?
I work out. I'm a fitness instructor also.
Mm-hmm.
So I work out. Before COVID, I worked out 6 days a week and practically 2 to 3 hours every day, 6 days a week. Now COVID has hit. I work out in an hour and a half per day, except Sunday and Saturday. So I just work out. I love working out because at the end of the day, it really does you well physically and mentally to work out.
Couple more quick questions. You still writing books?
I'm still writing books. As a matter of fact, I'm in the process of writing one called My Doctoral Journey, A Woman Warrior. Also, I want to write another book about the atrocities that happened to African American women in Alabama in the early 1800s, where this gynecologist used their body for experiments. So I want to write about that in a book and a play. So those two things are on my horizon for the future.
Because here's a book that you wrote at one time before, Words in Action. I've read it. Yes. Very good reading. Very good writing. Very good writing. Indeed. Indeed. You doing poetry? Still doing the poetry?
I'm still doing the poetry. I do it sometimes on TikTok. And
okay,
sometimes
Pat,
I'll put
what
it
the
on
hell
Facebook.
is going on here?
Okay, sweetheart, let me explain. This is a nursing home.
When there's an issue, I try to write a poem to express a very difficult issue because sometimes people can't take the truth full throttle. So if you write it in the form of a poem, it's easier to get your message over in poetry. So yes, I also read poetry at different events. I used to have a group called Boulangerie. Mm-hmm. It was poets and storytellers that came together once a month and share their writing. But after COVID hit, we closed that down. But we will go back to that sometime in the near future.
Sounds like a winner. Sounds like you're having a good time. EP, most sincerely, I want to thank you for being here today. Really appreciate your presence here on this occasion of our 250th episode. Ladies and gentlemen, EP McKnight.
Thank you, Ron, and congratulations on your 250th episode, and it was a pleasure to be here.
You got it. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm Ron Brewington. If you have a product or service or an upcoming event that you'd like to see advertised on this program, please call us at 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. Our prices are very affordable, and we thank you. Roll it, Tony.
Okay, Pat, what the hell is going on here?
Okay, sweetheart, let me explain. This is a nursing home.
No, duh.
They do a series of plays here. It's called AARP, and they all feature TV stars.
AARP?
Yeah, Aging Artists Repertory Productions. And Tabitha, I thought this would be a terrific place for you to try out a new kind of role. Kaylee.
Look, Dad, nobody's falling for this, and I'm sure Tabitha knows that you wrote it, and I don't...
Pat, you wrote this?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today also wears a lot of hats. She's an actress, a writer, a producer, a singer, and she does it all. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Victoria Gordon. Miss Gordon, nice to meet you.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
Indeed. And welcome to the Actor's Choice on this Memorial Day holiday. Again, two back-to-back heavy hitters in our program today. Now, you got started when you were a youngster. Please tell us about it.
Yeah, I started performing. I started playing the violin when I was 4. So I had my first on-stage performance when I was 5. I guess I had a recital right away. And the thing my parents noticed was I wasn't the best violinist, but I had this get up and perform kind of mentality. So they were like, even though you didn't play the best of all the kids, you had the most poise and determination on stage, and it just really shone through. And I've kind of carried that through ever since. I don't play the violin anymore, but I sing and I act and I produce and write, as you said. And that was the foundation for that, was realizing not only that I had this talent for being in front of a crowd, but also that I loved it.
Mm-hmm. But there's a whole lot of talent in your family. You're very modest about it. I understand that your great uncle, Dr. Ernst Katz, was the founder of the world famous LA Junior Philanthropic Orchestra as a conductor for 69 years?
Oh, yeah, he must have conducted for at least 70 years. And then he passed the baton, literally, to my uncle, who has been conducting ever since. But no, he from the time he was, I think, 23 or 24, he was really engaged in creating a musical community within his city. And he took kids, it was Depression era. He took kids who didn't know music at all and he would teach them music. And then as time went on, it went from teaching music to kids who didn't know it to fostering music, like musical interest and talent in kids who already had some experience. But he had a really unique model, which was that he didn't ever charge for anything. There was no fee to be a member. There was no fee to attend concerts. If you couldn't afford an instrument, he'd find you an instrument. If you couldn't afford clothes, he'd find you clothes. If, you know, he was that kind of man. And I think he's such an aspirational figure because so few people can do something like that.
Wow. Now on your dad's side, you are the granddaughter, or GD as I call it. I got a granddaughter and I call her GD, of the legendary comedy writer Al Gordon, who joined the writing staff of the legendary Jack Benny program just before it made the successful transition to Hollywood.
Yeah, that's my grandpa. Al's a cool guy. He was a really cool man, and he worked for 40 straight TV seasons.
Wow.
He wrote on some amazing shows. He did Jack Benny, then he moved on. He did Carol Burnett. He wrote an episode of Get Smart. He did Flip Wilson. He did The Smothers Brothers. He did his last show that was like his swan song before he retired was 227. So he had quite a varied career and worked with some amazing people and was just an all-around funny guy. So he was a lot of inspiration too, but in a very different way.
One could say some of it rubbed off on you.
I would hope. I mean, he was a really funny guy, so that would be an honor.
Okay. I should mention to our audience that you went to Beverly Hills High School and later to my favorite four-year school. They call it USC. I call it USC.
Fight on. I'm a fourth-generation Trojan. I love that. We are a big USC family, although my mom went to the wrong school. But the rest of us...
What school did she go to?
UCLA. I know she made a really bad choice, but everyone's entitled to make the occasional bad choice in their lives. So that was hers.
Now, you're very humble because you graduated, what, magna cum laude?
Yeah, I did. I worked hard in school. I mean, I'm the kind of kid who always worked hard from the time I was a little kid and all the way through to the end of college. So I was very motivated and managed to achieve magna cum laude, which is pretty cool.
All right. So when it came time for you to do your thing, no problem, huh?
Oh, no, it was not ever that simple. And I think anyone who thinks the careers are just like, whoop, like a straight line up is missing a lot of the behind the scenes. You really only see so much of what people do. And that's actually a reminder too, if it seems like things are going hard for you as a performer, as a creator, as whatever, you have to look at it from someone else's perspective and not see your everyday and think about what someone who's just looking at your highlight reel would see. And that's when it looks like, you know, the straight line up versus what we know, which is like up, down, you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step backward. This great thing happened, this awful thing happened. So it's a progression for everyone, but you have to think about it from the perspective of what does someone who is not living my day-to-day life see? And that's when you see progress.
The year was 1999. You got your first IMDb actress credit for a role as the daughter in the TV series document Surprise Gardener. You remember that, huh? Tell us about it.
We recently came across the tape, so I saw it not too long ago. I was so little. I don't really remember much about it. I just remember my dad kind of pulling me in and being like, here, stand here and smile. And I was such a little kid. I was just like, okay, sounds good. So I found the tape not too long ago, and it was pretty cute. I'm not going to lie. I was a cute kid. I guess it made sense that he would have me do that.
Okay. Fast forward to 2015, and then you were the writer, producer for the TV series Behind the Times.
Oh, wow. Behind the Times was a blast. That was my last semester of college. And I will tell you, I learned more doing Behind the Times than I did in 4 years of school. It was, you know, throw me on to the, you know, ground floor and make me do everything myself. And it was such a useful experience, such a great training experience. I really enjoyed that.
Okay. So who was Natalie Gordon?
The best sister ever. My sister Natalie, who at the time was a USC student as well. She studied film. And she brought her friends in to help make the show happen, and she directed it. And Natalie has been part of my career the whole way. She is such a great collaborator, and we have very different skill sets. She's a talented editor. She has a lot of sense of like how to put things together. My talent is more in the like everything up to post-production area. So Natalie has been a great resource, and I could not do what I do without her.
Tell her we'd like to have her on the show. I've looked up her paperwork. We'd like to have her on the show, please.
I will tell her that.
Definitely. So up next to 2020, yeah, that was last year. And there you are with the TV series musical live on Sunday.
Yes, that came out of the pandemic because we were stuck at home, and I had a show that I was going to do on March 22nd in person for Stephen Time's 90th birthday, and of course that show got canceled. But I still wanted to do it, so I did part of it online. It was like a 20-song show that was going to be in person. I did 5 songs online. Yes. And I contacted people who watched it, and I said, if I did this again, would you watch it? And they said, yeah, why not? So I did another one. And then I scheduled through the end of May, and I was like, the joke is by the end of May, everyone will be out having fun at the beach, and I'll be sitting here doing shows for no one. But obviously that didn't happen. Come the end of May, we were still sitting at home. So I said, let's keep going. And we went for the entire summer doing the Summer of Show Tunes portion of Live on Sunday, which was a lot of fun as well. And then by the end of August, having done different shows every week for like 12 weeks, I needed a break. So I put the show on a temporary hiatus and, started doing other projects. But that was not only was it a good learning experience and just a fun thing to do, it was a really nice time with my family because we were stuck at home and we all worked together to make that happen because we couldn't bring anyone else in. So I am glad we did that. And I think my mom said it, and it's true. This will be one of those things I take away from the pandemic as a good memory.
Got you. Let's keep rolling. 2 words, pilot season.
The latest and greatest, I hope. Pilot season also came out of the pandemic in that I realized I wasn't going anywhere. And not like mentally or whatever. I literally was physically not going anywhere, and it wasn't going to change anytime soon. So I took some projects that I had already written and some new material that I was working on at the time, and I said, we're just going to make these shows happen, and we're going to do it over Zoom like you and I are doing right now. But Natalie jumped in, and she was like, well, we can make it better. So Natalie came in, and she added stock footage and music and, helped us create shots that weren't just a bunch of people on a Zoom at once. And ultimately, we created 5 pilot readings that are more, I called them enhanced readings. They weren't full TV episodes. They weren't just like people sitting around a table reading a script. They were acted out. They were, only the people in the scenes were in the scenes. We had close-ups, we had wide shots. We had, you could imagine this person's house. You could imagine the music that would transition you between the 2 scenes, but they were still readings. And they were a really great chance to showcase these 5 pilots, a bunch of great actors, and what you can do without ever leaving your living room.
Right. I see you did that. It was done during the 2020 pandemic. You played various beloved musical theater characters. You filmed live at home in LA, and it's bi-weekly comedy music variety series.
Yeah, that was Live on Sunday. That's what we did. It was a blast, and it took a lot of work. Because we had to do new songs. So every other week, it kept us on a routine because I would have new songs to learn, and then I would have to get my sister in there to help me light it. My dad helped us light it. My sister helped with the sound. And then Natalie would be behind the camera. And then it was just a lot of work. And my mom was wrangling the dog who always appeared in the shows. And it was a lot of work. But again, it was a team effort.
Okay. So now what do you plan to do with it? Are you going to just leave it in where it is, or are you going to do something with it?
Oh, no. My goal is to get back out into live theaters and outdoor arenas, that sort of thing, as soon as possible. I do all traditional music. I do traditional show tunes, very little contemporary music. And I think it's time to get out and entertain people again because we have a different kind of need for entertainment now. Last year was we need entertainment to get us through this crazy time. Now we need entertainment to get us back into the world, to connect us to one another, and to remind us that the world is not as scary. It can be a very scary place, but inherently it's not scary. There's a way to be safe and be out amongst other people. So I want to be part of that. I really want to be at the forefront of that.
Now, people ask us the question, how do you become a success in Hollywood? What do you tell them?
I think the most important thing is you can't ever give up. You can't ever say, okay, I'm done, because there is something for everyone out there. Not everyone is going to be Angelina Jolie, although I do love her and we did go to the same high school. But there is something for everyone. Anytime you watch TV, there are dozens of other people playing parts. And even if you don't find your success in front of the camera, there are hundreds of people who make every production happen, thousands on a big film. There is something for everyone, and everyone ultimately comes together to create the final product. And while most of us just think of the actors, there is so much more there. And as an actor and as someone who does multiple things, I could not be more grateful for the people who have the talent to make those things happen. So success doesn't mean one thing. It can mean a lot of different things. And I encourage you to find your own definition and pursue that. That's how you find success in Hollywood.
Good answer. Thank you. Now, at the top, I mentioned that you are a singer. Okay, so tell us about what it takes. It's hard work, years of training, but you love it, don't you?
Oh, I love it. I started singing when I took my first voice lesson when I was about 12. So it's been more than half my life. And it's a process. I will tell you, there were years where I really struggled with certain technical elements, but I've had the same voice coach for the last 11 years. And she went from being my teacher, where we would do like weekly technique training and getting my voice up to where it needed to be, to now she's my coach. And I come to her and I'm not coming in like, I have no idea what I'm doing, you got to help me. It's more like we refine little technical things and we work together on song selection, and she really coaches me through putting together a show. So I adore Hannah, and I recommend that anyone who wants to sing find a really solid coach with good technique, and know that you're going to have to put in a lot of work, but it's rewarding on the other end.
Now, Victoria, we have a few moments left before we have to let you go, but please tell our viewers about you and your 10-year-old godson named Will. Now, you did something for him. I found this video and went, what?
Oh, Will's not 10. Will, he might have been 10 months at the time. Will is 19 months as of Saturday. I just saw him yesterday. Will is the sweetest little kid. You know, he's at that age now where everything is new to him and everything is interesting, and he gets into everything. But he is the sweetest little kid, and I used to sing to him. I mean, from the first 2 weeks old, I sang to him in one of my shows. And then as time went on, I found like when I was changing his diaper, or when his mom was changing his diaper, if I was there, I could distract him by singing. Or like if he was crying, I could sing to him. I put him to sleep once by singing. And he loves my voice. Like last night, he was getting a diaper change, and I was singing Rainbow Connection to him. So Will is such a big part of my life. I adore him, and I'm so honored to be his godmother. And I'm glad that I can use what I have as my talents to help him in some way, because, you know, that's kind of a cool thing to just be able to sing to a kid and connect with a kid that way. It's kept our relationship really strong. And we are very, very, I mean, it's supposed to compete to a 19-month-old. Like, that's always a little bit of a challenge too, but he's a great kid and I love him.
Okay, Tony, roll it.
Adel of ice, Adel of ice, every morning you greet me, small and white, clean and bright, you look happy to meet me.
There you were singing Edelweiss.
Yeah, he loved that one. That one was like the song of summer 2020. I would sing that to him for diaper changes. And when I was doing those shows, one thing I used to do is I would put him to sleep at night when we'd be together, and I'd practice all my songs. So I'd go through the whole show for Will. And I mean, he slept, so I guess he got a kick out of it. I don't know. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I enjoy doing. And maybe someday I'll do kids music. Who knows?
Indeed, it was beautiful. When I saw that video, I said, yeah, we got to play that. We got to play that.
Oh, thank you. And I'll have to tell Will to come back and watch the show now.
Oh, yes, indeed, indeed. One more question. What's next in the future for you?
Oh, I've got a lot going on. I'm working on getting more stuff out there in terms of like content that people can enjoy in person. Like I said, I want to get back into live venues. I have something coming up that I can't talk about yet, but that's going to be really exciting. Yes. And there will be some more YouTube, because I've been enjoying using YouTube and Twitch and Instagram and all of that. There's more to come. But the really exciting thing can't be announced yet, but suffice it to say, I will get to perform live in front of a real audience with real people in real time. We're all going to be in the same place. I'm so, so excited, and I can't wait to talk about that.
I want to thank your publicist for bringing you out today. We really appreciate it. Victoria, we want to wish you continued success, and thank you so much for being here on our 250th episode. Bless you.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was a blast.
My pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, Victoria Gordon. Roll it, Tony.
Come on, Pierce, can the tomfoolery.
In hut, prepare for inspection. Ladies and gentlemen, General Lyle Duncombe. Thank you, Cato. Where are the girls? Where are the girls? What girls? You want girls? You! Suck in that gut. Roll out that chest. You stay just the way you are. Let's have a major skirmish. Play this comic opera elsewhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, to say that my next guest is an actor is an understatement. In the next few moments, you're going to hear about a fellow who puts the A in actor. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David Hunt Stafford. David, greetings and welcome to the Actor's Choice.
Well, thank you. Is my audio coming through?
Oh, yeah, loud and clear. You sound good. You look good, my brother. You're looking good.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Ron, for having me on your program, and congratulations to you for 250 episodes of your show. It's fantastic, and I'm thrilled to be a guest. So thank you very much.
Our pleasure. It's good to have good folk like yourself, and lady before that, and lady before that, and lady before that, and the man before that. That keeps us going. We love it so much. Would you please tell us about the education that you received on the road to acting?
Well, I started acting when I was a young fellow, and decided I'd come out to California, and I went to the California Institute of the Arts and graduated from the theater school. And my classmates were there were at Cal Arts. There were 3 ensembles: the senior ensemble, the middle ensemble, and the younger people who were in the younger ensemble. And in my class was Pee Wee Herman, Katie Seagal, David Hasselhoff, Lorraine Newman from Saturday Night Live, myself, and a few others. And so a lot of my former classmates went on to really hit the jackpot in the acting business. Wow. And we had a great education there at Cal Arts, and then of course we all went our separate ways to try to get careers going. I've been literally doing theater, doing plays in Los Angeles for over 50 years. And I don't know how many I've done, but
they say 75.
Yeah. Currently, I'm the artistic director of Theater 40 in Beverly Hills, and I've produced about 150 plays there and been in over 80 of them. And of course, I've done a lot of plays all over town also, as well as the Old Globe Theater in San Diego and the Marines Memorial Theater in San Francisco. So it's been a great ride, and it's a beautiful art form, one that obviously I care a great deal about and I'm very involved in, and it's brought me a lot of artistic satisfaction.
I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, he put the A in actor.
Yep.
David, like I always say, you got to have that piece of paper when you went to school. You got your first play at Monte Cassino in 1969. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Well, I mean, I was a high school kid, and they said, "You want to be in a play?" And I said, "Yes." It was, I did a number of plays there at Monte Cassino. I did Bury the Dead by Irwin Shaw and David and Lisa, and Waiting for Lefty. And those were 3 that really set the hook in me. I went to a small junior college in Oklahoma and did some wonderful plays there also. And then I auditioned for Cal Arts to be admitted as a student to Cal Arts. And we went down to Dallas to audition. And I think they auditioned like 3,500 kids from all over the country and admitted 25 people into the acting program at Cal Arts. That was the very beginning of Cal Arts. It was actually the first year that they opened the campus in Valencia. And it was very, very different. You know, growing up at Oklahoma and going to Catholic schools my entire life, and then I ended up at Cal Arts, which was very radical from what I had known. I always like to tell this story, Ron. I arrived at Cal Arts wearing an ascot. You know, like here I was, you know, arriving at Cal Arts wearing an ascot and my luggage. And by the end of my graduation project, when I graduated 2 years later, I was doing Genet in drag. Oh, it was very wild and very a huge culture change for me. So, but I've stuck with it, and I've done a lot of plays, and I'll plan to keep doing them too. I'm on vacation right now, speaking to you from the East Coast, and I'm reading 6 plays right now while I'm on vacation. So, Theater 40 is, of course, one of the oldest and one of the most respected of all the small theater companies in Los Angeles. We've been in business since, well, we're going into our 55th season of production.
Yes.
And we've been closed due to the pandemic and stuff, but we've produced over 450 plays over the years and have won over 380 Drama Critics Awards for excellence. So we are one of the best and one of the oldest, and it's been a tremendous pleasure for me to manage the company and select the plays, select the staff, make sure that everything is moving smoothly and produced beautifully over there. So it's been a great pleasure for me over the years to have this position and to produce the quality that we're able to produce.
Excellent. The A in actor, ladies and gentlemen, A in actor.
Yep.
On the other side of the coin, David, in 1978, you got your first IMDb actor credit for TV series role as Biznay Das on Lou Grant.
Yeah, that was Vishnu Das. Vishnu Das, yeah.
Say that 5 times real quick. Vishnu.
I actually played Charlie Hume's son in that episode, and the name of the episode was Sect, S-E-C-T. And Charlie Hume's son had run off and joined the Hare Krishnas, and Charlie was all upset about it. And of course, he went to Lou Grant and consulted with Lou. What are we going to do? My kid is shaved his head and has joined a religious cult, and so they were going to kidnap me and deprogram me. That's what the episode was about. They were going to kidnap Charlie's son, who would join this religious sect, and deprogram me. But at the end of the episode, they sort of rethought it and said, I can't really do that to my kid. He's my kid, and I don't want to kidnap him. And so I was only in that one episode. I kept trying to convince them to bring back the son, make him a regular. But they didn't do it. But I did become friends with Edward Asner, and I have been friends with him ever since. And he's going to be appearing later this summer at Theater 40 in a special event, fundraising play reading event that we're going to do in late July at Theater 40. We do plan to reopen Theater 40 this summer. I'm hoping we can get it open by the end of June, but it may be a little later. I don't have an exact date quite yet, but it's very imminent, the reopening of the theater. So, and Edward Asner and Ruta Lee are both going to do a special event play reading at our theater in late July.
Now, that same year that you had a role in the Emmy-nominated episode of MASH, which we showed at the top, from that you did the Paperclip Chats, you did the Waltons, you did Elvis, you also did the Jane Mansfield story.
Yes. The Jane Mansfield story was with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lonnie Anderson. Mm-hmm. And I was, she was, in the movie and in real life, she was killed in a tragic car crash. Yes. And my role in the TV movie was I was the guy, driving the car that crashed.
Yes.
And that was a wonderful role in the Jane Mansfield story. Yeah, I did several young television shows as a young actor, and it's great work when you can get it. I love doing it. So most recently I did a CSI Miami a few years ago, and
yes, you did.
Yeah, that was good too. That was great.
Just getting ready to say CSI. You got that job doing that one, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. You got right now a movie thriller that you got coming called Blame. It's in pre-production. On any release date yet?
No. A friend of mine, Michael Saunders, is working on that picture, Blamed, and there's not a release date on that yet. No.
Please tell our viewers, what's it like doing stage and then TV or film? What's it like? Because each one is different.
Yeah, well, stages, of course, you have 4, 5, 6 weeks of rehearsal to perfect your role and learn your lines. And of course, when you're in a play, it begins at 8 o'clock and you become that other person, and you have to sustain that being that other person until 10 o'clock when the play is over. And so it requires a particular kind of concentration. And of course, you get to rehearse it, for several weeks. So you perfect the character and get it down to exactly the way you want it. But it's in TV and film, you say 3 lines and then it's cut. In a play, it starts at 8 and it ends at 10, 2 hours later, and there's no cut. You got to sustain it and keep it going for the duration of the performance. It's a different discipline, but it's very satisfying discipline. I've done big parts and little parts and huge parts, and it's a great art form. It's one that love very much.
Well, David, I hate to tell you this, but people who know me know I have a bone to pick with actors and actresses here in this town. A lot of them like film. They love TV, but they won't get up on that stage. They won't. They won't.
You can't keep me off of it.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. You're opposite 180 degrees out. Yes.
Right. Yeah, of course, the money is in doing television and film, and the artistic satisfaction is doing in the live theater, in my opinion. So.
Gotcha. Back to Theater 40. Here's what it looks like on the stage inside the theater. There's a nice little picture we got there.
Beautiful small theater.
Yes.
We're located inside the Beverly Hills High School. Many years ago, the founding fathers of Theater 40 made a deal with the Beverly Hills Unified School District's Board of Education, and the Board of Education in the early 1970s gave Theater 40 that room. And the room originally was a supply room for custodial supplies. And the original arrangement, or the deal that the founding fathers made with the school district, was, we will give you this room if you, Theater 40, and the professional in your theater company will teach an adult education theater appreciation class for free. And so they agreed to do that. And so they gave us this room for custodial supplies. And the founding fathers of Theater 40 hired the historic and iconic Ming Cho Lee, who was a Tony-winning set designer from New York. He's Chinese, or he was Chinese. I believe he's passed away here over the recent years, but he came in and designed the interior of the theater. And it's a beautiful theater, one of the most beautiful of all the small theaters in LA. And so to this very day, we're still doing plays in there, and we are still teaching the adult education theater appreciation class every Monday night for the adult school of the Beverly Hills Unified School District. I did the math on that. We do a play reading every Monday night.
Right.
And we rehearse it and get up and do it for the adult students who enroll in the class. And we've done almost 1,200 play readings for the adult school from the late 1970s until now. And we just did one. We're doing one next Monday, and we did one 2 weeks ago, and we've sustained that class for the school district all these many years.
How many seats in the theater?
99.
Okay.
Also, something your viewers might find particularly interesting, Ron, is we have a very good relationship with the city of Beverly Hills. And about 19 years ago, we went to the city of Beverly Hills and the city council and said that we wanted to do a play inside Graystone Mansion, which is this historic mansion in the hills of Beverly Hills. The city of Beverly Hills owns Graystone Mansion, and it was built in 1929 by the Doheny family. And so the history of the house and the history of the Doheny family is fraught with intrigue and scandal and murder and suicide and,
the kind of stuff you like, right? The kind of stuff you like.
Yeah. And so we wrote this play called The Manor, Murder and Madness at Graystone, and the city let us do the play inside the house. Follows the actors around through the rooms of the mansion as they follow the story of the play, it's sort of a reenactment of what happened to the Doheny family when they built the house up there. And so they said you could do the play 3 times, and now it's 19 years and 300 performances later than the Manor, which is still running up at Graystone. And we plan to reopen that play in January of 2022. So that's a great thing. Have you seen that, Ron? Have you seen
I haven't seen it. Haven't seen it. I'll be looking out for it.
We'll give you tickets, and as soon as they become available, we'll have you come up there to Graystone. You've been to Graystone Mansion?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's a fantastic play that we do inside the mansion there, and we'll make sure you've got some tickets when we open it up in the early part of 2022.
Sounds good to me.
Sure. Yeah.
Gotcha. We got just a few more minutes. We got you sitting. Here's a picture of you. The year is 2013. Light Up the Sky is what we're seeing. Tony?
Yeah, that was one of the productions at Theater 40. That's a famous play, backstage, sort of a backstage comedy about they all plan to, they expect that the play that is opening on Broadway that night will be a big flop. And it turns out to be a huge hit. And it's a lot of hijinks and a lot of funny stuff happens in Light Up the Sky. That's been done many times all over the country for many years. Great classic play.
Okay. One more that you did was Renovations for Six.
Renovations for Six is a play by Norm Foster. And Norm Foster is considered, I mentioned earlier, I'm reading 6 plays on my vacation. All 6 of them are Norm Foster plays. Norm Foster is considered the Neil Simon of Canada. And he is enormously popular and enormously successful playwright out of Toronto. And we have a relationship with him, and he gives us his new plays. Renovations for Six was very clever. 3 different couples all renovating their house at the same moment. But in the theater, there's only one set. So you meet couple number 1, they're renovating their house, and then they leave, and couple number 2 comes in, they're renovating their house. And it was just hilarious. Norm Foster's a very, very brilliant comedy writer out of Canada. And Theater 40's done 5 of his plays, and we'll be doing a 6th play of his in the new season, which will open up later this summer.
Right.
He's a wonderful writer.
Right. We got to run out of time, but there is one picture I would like to show. It's a guy that you work with all the time. The guy by the name of Philip Sokolov.
Oh, yeah.
Handsome young man.
Yeah, he's a wonderful guy. And he's, a theater publicist for some of the small theaters in LA, doing a great job for us as well as for his other clients. And I appreciate him putting you and I in touch with each other. And
yes,
I hope our first time together is the first of many, Ron. I appreciate you and appreciate what you're doing. And I thank you for your time this afternoon.
Thank you, David. I want to thank you for being present here today on occasion of us getting 250 episodes like you. We love what we do, and we follow guys like yourself. Best wishes to you, sir.
Be sure and tell all your viewers to come by Theater 40 and see us. Go to the website, theater40.org, see when we're opening, and see we're always looking for new audience, and we want you to come by and see the productions and enjoy what we have to offer.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, David Hunt Stafford. I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Ron for photography as an art, Ron Irvers, haiku, style, passion, heart. Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm Agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Robert Brownstein's Acting Training School and Actors Space. And much, much thanks to our guest today on this, our 250th episode, actress, writer, EP McKnight, actress, writer, producer Victoria Gordon, and actor David Hunt Stafford. And of course, special thanks to our ever growing worldwide audience. Be well. We will see you next time for our 251st episode. We thank you.
Congratulations, Ron.
Thank you, David.